Hello. Today, I will tell you a very interesting story about a house in a little-known town on the outskirts of Kansas. This story is shrouded in mystery and mysticism. One day in a quiet small town where the inhabitants lived a peaceful and measured life, something strange happened. There was a house in this city where the Green family lived. The family consisted of father, mother, son, and daughter. They were an ordinary family, but there was something unusual in their behavior. They did not communicate with others and were always closed. One morning, something terrible happened in this house. It was overcast outside, and Green's house was the only one that was lit. The neighbors noticed that strange things were happening in the house, but no one could figure out what exactly. They heard a loud scream that lasted several minutes, and then there was complete silence in the house. Neighbors decided to check what happened at Green's house, but the door was locked from the inside. They started knocking on the door, but no one answered. The police launched an investigation to find out what happened in this house. They interrogated all the neighbors, but no one knew what could have happened. They turned to experts to determine what kind of signs were painted on the walls. They discovered that these were ancient symbols associated with black magic. The police started looking for suspects, but there was no evidence. Soon strange events continued in the town. The inhabitants began to disappear. Their bodies were in the forests with unfamiliar symbols on the body. People began to fear that there was an epidemic in the town. The police were on the brink of despair. They knew that the Green family was the perpetrators of all these terrible events, but they could not find any evidence. Finally, one day, the police received an anonymous call that something had happened at Green's house. They quickly arrived at the scene and found that a bloody ritual had taken place in the house. All members of the family were killed and symbols were painted on the walls, as were the bodies of other victims. The investigation led to the fact that suspicion fell on the daughter of the Green family, who was a teacher at the local school. She had a strange reputation and always kept herself away from other people. She was arrested and placed in custody. During interrogation, she confessed to killing her family, but said it was not her decision. She claimed that some dark forces forced her to do this and that she could not resist them. She said that her family was the victim of an ancient ritual associated with black magic. The police launched a new investigation and found out that the Green family was really entangled in dangerous cases. They practiced magic and communicated with spirits that made them do terrible things. But they could not stop, and this led to their death. The daughter of the Green family was convicted of killing her family, but many people did not believe that she was the real killer. Some claimed that she was a victim of the dark forces and that she had no control over her actions. Since then, in the city where this terrible crime took place, numerous legends and myths about the spirits that remained in the Green house have appeared. Some argue that the screams and groans of the victims can still be heard in this house, and at night the spirits of the family leave the house and roam the streets of the city. Although many years have passed since this terrible crime took place, many people are still afraid to walk past the Green house, and no one knows what can happen if you decide to enter this house. Who knows, maybe there really are forces inside that can kill anyone who dares to enter their cursed house.